Alright, I am going to be doing a video today on setting up the messenger randomizer for Archipelago. Uh, you can also follow along this tutorial, although it will be slightly different than the original messenger without Archipelago. So first, I'm going to head over to a web browser, and I'm going to get the first thing you're going to need, which is the latest version of Courier. And by the way, you can find all this stuff on archipelago.gg. Just find the messenger setup guide. And yeah, you can just read through all this if you'd like, or you can follow through this video. I will try to remember to put a link to this down in this description below. Alright, so as the setup guide says, you need the most recent version of Courier, which I believe is 0.7.1. Yes. If you go to Assets, right here, the most recent version is 0.7.1. So we will download that. And then we will go over to our Downloads folder. So here we have Courier 0.7.1. You can open it up, and it will have messenger stuff in here. This is pretty much what you're going to need to install mods for the messenger. So we're going to have to find our game directory, which you can find by just going to your local disk, wherever you have the Steam and the messenger installed. I have mine in my C drive, and I'm going to go into my program files, into Steam, into Steam Apps, Common, and the messenger, if I can find it. And this is basically where you're going to put Courier and also all of your mods in this folder. So you're going to just extract this. So we can drag and drop this, extract files here. I already have it installed, so we're just going to say no to all. And then you're going to click on this, double click on this mini installer.exe and run that to make sure Courier is installed. Alright, after that runs, you are going to want to make sure you have a mods folder. If you don't have a mods folder, just create a new folder called mods. It might have to be a capital M, I'm not sure. But in this folder, you're going to have all your mods, which I have a lot of older versions of mods that I've been saving for some reason. But your folder should look empty. And this is where we are going to put our first mod. So this is the only mod you're going to be downloading. It's going to be the Messenger Randomizer Archipelago by Always in Treble. If you're trying to use the original randomizer mod, you will want to use -27's the Messenger Randomizer mod. And the setup should be mostly the same, except for one key difference, but other than that, pretty much the same. And of course, you don't need any Archipelago stuff to run that. So we're just going to download this file right here. So now you have the latest version of Archipelago, which is 0.11.9. The Archipelago Randomizer mod. And then we're just going to drag and drop it into our mods folder. Which I already have it, so we'll just replace it. And then after that, you're going to want to make sure you extract here. And I already have it installed, so I'm just going to say no to all. But it should come up here. If you don't do that every time, the version number is going to look weird, and I'm assuming it doesn't apply the new features until you extract it. So make sure you extract it. This is the one key difference with the other one, the original. You don't extract the original. You just keep it in the zip file format. Anyways, after that, you're going to want to, well, you're pretty much set after that. You can launch the game after that. But there are some additional things you can download. You can download the latest version of Archipelago, if you would like. This is basically so you can get the text client, which is a lot more convenient than the in-game text client in Messenger. So I would recommend you download the setup, and then you just run it in here. So let me actually install the Archipelago 0.4.3. Just run that. It might ask you if you want to allow it to make changes. So we're going to say yes. I accept the agreement. And the only thing you're really going to want here is, well, any games you want here. You gotta find the messenger, maybe? Messenger might not actually be on here. Yeah, based off of this, all you're gonna want to click is the text client, as I don't see the messenger in here anywhere, unless I'm blind. So you're just gonna want to make sure this box is checked, and also any other games you might be planning on setting up for Archipelago. So make sure you have at least this checked, and then you're going to click next. Sure, you can create a desktop shortcut. You're going to install. Alright, that's going to probably launch the launcher. I'm not going to use the launcher. Alright, so then if you want to go check that out, you can just go to, let me just go over here, go to this PC, and then it should be in program data, which you might have to enable hidden items on here, because program data is not shown by default. And then you can just go to Archipelago, or you can just go to the shortcut that it created. It'll just take you here. And then you can run the text client here if you want to use that. Next, I will be showing how you can install the tracker. So the tracker is using Pop Tracker. So you'll just install the latest version of Pop Tracker. So I'll just click this. And that should go into my downloads folder. And pretty much you just extract this, and then you'll get a folder with all of this stuff in it. Then from here, you're going to want to install the Messenger Track Pack. Doesn't really matter which version you install for Messenger Track Pack or Pop Tracker, as it will just automatically update as it realizes there are available updates. So you can just click this to download it, and then you can put it in your Pop Tracker folder where your packs folder is. And that's then you can launch Pop Tracker. And from Pop Tracker you can connect it to Archipelago up here, and it'll automatically track everything for you. Alright, after that we're going to get into the actual game and how to use Archipelago. So I'm going to go back to my game folder. I'm going to launch the messenger. And then we're going to just switch back and forth between the messenger and the Archipelago website. So first you're going to want to go to Options in the messenger. And then if Courier is installed correctly, you should see third-party mod options. And then when you go into third-party mod options, if the Messenger AP Randomizer is installed correctly, you should see that right here, and all the options for it. Next, you are going to want to go to Archipelago. So I can just go to the settings, and then from settings, you just set whatever you want. Progression balancing doesn't matter if you're playing alone. And then this is just how you want the logic to work. If you want seals, if you want the mega time shards, what your goal is, all that stuff. But then you can just generate a game from here, or you can download the settings and generate it using Archipelago on your machine. This is the easiest way, as this hosts everything for you. But yeah, you just hit the Generate Game button, and then you can create a new room. And this is where you will be getting the address that you'll be inputting into the messenger. So here we have the address, so it's just archipelago.gg, but if we go to the host name, it's already in there by default. That's only different if you're hosting it on your machine, so that doesn't really matter. The port will change, so unless you're hosting it on your machine, then it's usually just the default port, which is 38281, which is already in there. But our current port is 65253. So we're going to put 65253, which this menu doesn't use controller input, so you have to use keyboard. And now we have the correct host name and port. Then you put your slot name in there. So in the settings, you had a name at the top for your player name. Mine is Jackson Bird. So we'll just put that in there. The password, unless you are hosting it on your machine, is not going to be very important. It's always going to be blank. And then you just click Connect to Archipelago. Then it will hopefully say Successfully Connected to Archipelago. And from there, you can go to play. Oh yeah, and if you already started a few seeds already, you can go to this Reset Randomizer file slot and just type in Y here, and it'll reset your file for the randomizer. And then we can just enter this. And now, as you can see on the top right, we have the messenger's version of the text client. Alright, from here you can then switch over to whatever else you want to be using. I will open up Pop Tracker and connect that. It's pretty much the same thing. You just get the port and the address, which is going to be this. And then your player name. And it does matter what you make your player name. Generally, you only want to use letters, a period, and a dash. As if you use anything else, well, other than numbers, you can use numbers too. So numbers, letters, period, and dash are the only things that Messenger supports through the keyboard input. So you'll have to do a special convoluted way of inputting your name in the Messenger if you have special symbols. So I would not recommend using those. There should be no password. And now we are connected. So then we can go to our next thing we're going to use, which should be the Archipelago text client. So just go in here, find Archipelago text client.exe. Here we have the wrong port. There we go. And there's like, you just have your name and then at Archipelago. This should fill in, like you should just be able to go here and open the text client right here. You can also go here to open the tracker, if that's easier. Which it is, but I forgot you could do that. So we're just going to connect to the server. And here you can basically see everything that happens. So whenever you get an item, and you can also hint for stuff here or in the game. If you want to hint for items in the game, you can just go to I don't know if it'll let me because I don't have enough hint points, but there usually is an option here just to hint for an item. Anyways, after that, that's it. You've set up the game, you've connected everything. If you were planning on doing the original randomizer, there are a few extra things you might have to do, as seeds are generated on Messenger Rando.com, I believe. This is how you get your seeds for the original randomizer, and you just put those in your mods folder in the messenger randomizer mappings folder, which you have to create yourself. And then basically you just put the mappings in there and it works. So that's how you set up the messenger randomizer for Archipelago and also for the original game. But mainly for Archipelago because it just has so many moving parts that you have to download. And the setup takes a while, but that should be it. I will probably be making more videos on this channel on how to... just some general... how to get through the game. And I'll probably stick with in-logic stuff at first, and then maybe switch over to some more let out-of-logic things you can do that allow you to get items early. That's really only going to be useful for, like, harder difficulties, but that's it. Thanks for watching. See you later.